Hello, love. Welcome back, family. Sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia. This is going to be the start of a series of pick a card readings, specifically for the ELSH collective, empaths, lightworkers, starseeds and healers, and those awakening to identifying as such. This particular pick a card / message reading is going to be partly channeled on behalf of the Venusians, or I should say, I am going to be channeling messages on behalf of the Venusians around love, where we are at as a collective, and to further distill that down into these particular groups with these very specific messages, okay? Please take these readings as confirmation, as taking stock, 111 on the counter as I say that, of the synchronicities, and as portals of activation. The channeling that I do is oriented in such a way. So if that resonates with you, then by all means, stick around. And we're going to take a closer look at the cards now, right before we get into the readings. These pink little message cards here, they are channeled messages of the Venusians. This is a deck that I've created with myself, and then I'm also using these cards here, being guided by them. These very specific cards from the Black Moon Astrology deck as well. Okay, so pile number 1. You are the sum of every heart you've touched. You are the sum of every heart you've touched. That's the first message here on behalf of the Venusians. And as you can see, I've got this very sort of lovely, kind of golden-y soft lighting here. Venusians really wanting to also simultaneously bring in a sense of calm around this, a sense of grounding around this, and a sense of being in the body around this. So as I explain this, really feel into your body, feel into your intuition, and know that there are no mistakes here in terms of what is pulling you, whether it is the messages on the cards, whether it is the images of the cards themselves, the numbers, and even the number 1, 2, 3, okay? You've got water element as well, pile number 1, the water element, which is sensing, number 40, sensing, water element. So that's pile number 1. Pile number 2, dote on your heart. Dote on your heart. And the Black Moon Astrology card for this is the air element, communicating. The air element, number 39, communicating. And card or pile number 3, we've got honor, the sacredness of the womb, with a little bit of sacred geometry there in the corner, and numbers 3 and 2. And the Black Moon Astrology card for this is Solar Eclipse Revolution, number 44. Remember that these are timely yet timeless readings. This may be a little bit timely for you because we do have a solar eclipse coming up very soon, actually, a lunar and a solar eclipse in February and in March. So feel free to take a screenshot here if you like of this, or take a look at the thumbnail again, and I will meet you on the other side. Pile number 1, welcome. Tuning into the frequency and the energy of this particular collective, empaths, lightworkers, starseeds, and healers, and those awakening to identifying as such. And tuning in to the energy of these cards that you have chosen. You are the sum of every heart you've touched, with the water element, sensing. What I'm getting with this particular pile and this particular group is the uber empaths, what I like to refer to as the uber empaths. And by way of that, a tremendous healing energy and a very high degree of sensitivity and clear sentience, clear feeling within the body. What the Venusians want to bring through for you is that, okay, they're also saying to me, you may be drawn to another pile here. I'm getting the number 2 for that. I'm getting a lot of High Priestess energy with that, and the element, obviously, of water, very much connected to the High Priestess, to the energy of the Divine Feminine. But they're directing me specifically now to the number 40. So this could mean that you are around that age, 40. I'm hearing with that the very overused old matrixy term of midlife crisis. Some of you may be coming out of some kind of relationship that I'm hearing has left you distraught, that has left you 144 on the counter for this section of the reading, that has left you feeling very weary of relationships moving forward. Interesting. I am hearing with that 40-year cycle. So I know that this has something to do with, is it Saturn? I'm getting the energy of Saturn here. And I'm hearing it's a hard knock life for us. Okay. So this is energy that wants to be alchemized. The distraughtness is the shittiness that wants to be turned into gold for the next part of your journey. And the Venusian energies, and I'm also getting the angelic realm here. So some of you may be very connected to the angels. Specifically, I'm getting Archangel Shamuel. I'm also getting Archangel Gabriel. I'm getting more archangelic energies, very much again connected to the Divine Feminine. Archangel Haniel. I'm also getting that. I'm seeing a lot of pink energy with that. The Venusians always bring in a sort of pink energy, but they're really focusing on this energy, this pink energy and the energy of the higher heart. So this is an evolved understanding of love, asking to be birthed through the experiences, through the relationships that you have experienced that have left you distraught. They keep on bringing in that word around love. So there's a kind of feeling lost. Feeling like you're at your wit's end. I'm not picking up much on the feeling of this group. One of the main kind of energies that's coming through right now for this particular group is you may have just come out of a relationship recently, a divorce, a separation, something. And I'm getting with the 40 coming through, it could be 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years. It could also be something to do with the person's birth date, a life path number, the energy of 4 really being significant here. Okay, so I'm also getting with that April, the month of April. So maybe this was something to do with the month of April. But they keep on reiterating the two, which is the month of February, if we're looking at it in terms of calendar time. But I'm also hearing with that it takes 2 to tango. So some of you here in this particular collective, 444 on the counter, a lot of angelic protection wanting to come in for that. Some of you here who are part of this collective are either very fresh, let's say 4 months, 4 weeks, maybe even 4 days out of a relationship and feeling very much in the thick of that, feeling distraught. I'm sending you a great big hug. They're also reminding me to tell you that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. They're saying for some of you that needs to be your prayer right now. That needs to be your mantra to bring you back to center, to bring you back to even just a modicum of peace, you know? For others of you, you've been in that it takes 2 to tango. For some of you, you are now realizing very, very clearly where perhaps you have evolved and grown and made your own mistakes, and I'm putting that in quotation marks because it's about taking accountability, right, for perhaps the things that maybe now looking back and reflecting and reviewing the situation, reviewing the relationship, you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is where perhaps I wasn't communicating clearly enough my needs. This is perhaps where maybe I should have stood up for myself more. They're giving me specific examples with this, where I should have perhaps, and be careful with the word should as well, okay? Because I'm just sort of reiterating thoughts that you could be having right now, but it's more about growth and focusing on the growth of that, not what you should or should not have done, because you were doing the best you knew to do at the time with what you had and where you were at on your journey. So it's more about recognizing and seeing these particular experiences through what you've gained in terms of your own self-knowledge, in terms of understanding yourself better. And before we get into popping any of the cards here, they want me to go back to you are the sum of every heart you've touched. It is often the case with uber empaths that they have signed up for some very specific relationships or soul contracts in this lifetime, where they are catalyzers for their own growth and the growth of the other person involved. You are the sum of every heart you've touched. And this is a massive confirmation coming in on behalf of the Venusians and the angelic realm, that you have done so much for the people in your life. It is time now to do the same for yourself and to understand. And it's funny, actually, what they're showing me. It's not just about doing, it's about recognizing that you are the sum of every heart that you have touched. That is your power. And I say that true power, okay? Not power over. I'm talking about the power within each and every one of us. That is, in effect, the essence of who you are. You are the sum of every heart that you have touched. And we're talking big heart here. I'm actually seeing a lot of lion energy coming in with that as a starseed. If you're connected to the Lyrans or the feline beings, Spica or Spica, I'm getting a lot of lion energy here. I'm hearing lion heart with that. And Leo is the sign in astrology that rules over the heart. And on that note, I'm going to start by popping from the May You Know a Lot of Love deck, okay? I always link these decks in the description box, so you can always take a look if there's a deck here that's really pulling you for whatever reason. Well, that was quick. I'm in love with life as it is. Ooh, big message here, especially when we are going through difficulties. Ooh, especially when we are going through challenges. This is a difficult thing sometimes. This statement can seem very foreign to us. I'm in love with life as it is. This is a very, very specific message for you right now. This is about loving the shit out of your life, no matter where you're at. And you, no matter where you are at. So what I'm getting with this as well is making sure you are checking in with the self-judgment, where perhaps you are judging yourself too harshly, where perhaps you are being a little bit too self-critical. Now, feel into the difference here, right? When you are self-critical versus taking accountability is a difference, right? Because self-criticism, being self-critical in the dysfunctional sense of that, because for some of us, self-criticism, we feel good with that. We feel that that's a healthy thing, right? When we talk about healthy forms of criticism, right? oftentimes uber empaths can be the hardest on themselves. And this is where I love to bring in the example of, think of something that you love so dearly in your life, that you are there for, that you are willing to do anything and everything for. That is exactly the kind of energy that you need to give yourself. And specifically what I'm hearing them say is, you need to hear this. You need to hear that this is what you are worthy of, and this is what you deserve. And I'm also hearing now there's no going back. That might be a specific message for some of you. There's no going back. There's no going back to the way things were before. At the bottom of the deck, I bring love into my community. So perhaps one of the difficulties around this particular relationship, because I am getting more about separation or divorce here, but they're bringing in also family, where there's an actual separation of a family, or you are separating yourself from a family member, or you're having to walk away from a situation in a family that is not healthy for you any longer. This is about building your own family, your own community, aligning to right relationships. The Venusians talk about that all the time, and for the longest time now. Aligning to right relationship oftentimes has a lot to do with embodying your frequency, your energy, your vibration authentically. And it's about tending to yourself and honoring yourself and making sure that cup is full first. There's nothing selfish about that. That is a form of, there's a distorted understanding of that through a kind of, let's just say, manipulation of empath, or what it means, what we deem being a good person. And there's a lot of programming around that, but that's a whole other topic for discussion. You can check out some of my other videos around that on the Empath collective playlist for that. I can link that in the description box below. So this is a big thing, right? It's a big, big lesson for empaths, is understanding that there has been a lot of programming around what it means to be a good person, a good little empath, somebody who's truly empathic. And the distortions around that are some things like being overly sacrificing, overgiving, self-sacrificing, the classic being a doormat, wanting to not rock the boat so we don't say anything when it involves how we truly feel about something, okay? That's sort of what the energy that's coming through here with regard to, you're having to choose now. You're coming to a place where you're needing to choose who's your true family, who's your true community. Your family, your blood family, so to speak, in this earthly incarnation, they're here for a reason the same way you are, okay? And I'm hearing at the end of the day, it all comes back to love, and especially love for yourself. Love and beaming love, and understanding that love does not involve real, true love, okay? Does not involve self-sacrificing and running yourself ragged for the sake of someone else. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. We're going to get into the Starcodes Astro Oracle now. I saw Virgo there pop out for a moment. And you know what? That Virgoan energy is a perfect example of that, because every astrological archetype has a spectrum. Every astrological archetype is on a spectrum, right? And there's healthy aspects of that archetype. There's not so healthy aspects of that archetype, and lower and kind of higher octaves in the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, etc. One of the lower octaves, so to speak, of Virgo, and one of the more dysfunctional aspects of Virgo, is exactly this concept of self-sacrificing and being of service to anyone and everything without discretion, and self-effacing in not actually serving yourself, making sure that you've got the food in your belly before that type of a thing, making sure that you're taken care of. And here's the thing, there are going to be moments in life where you do have to tend to something, where you do need to make someone else a priority or a situation a priority. The question is that constantly your modus operandi? Is that constantly the way that you are functioning? Is that a way in which you deem yourself worthy? Are you keeping a scorecard in terms of how much you give? And it's like if you stop for one moment to try and take care of yourself, suddenly you've got this whole guilt complex washing over you. That is unhealthy and it's dysfunctional. Because I'm hearing I'm hearing the word appropriation. Oh my God, I'm hearing appropriation of others' emotions, appropriation of others' state. They're showing me this card. So take whatever resonates with that. Okay. This is an imbalance of your worth being based on how much you give to others, how much you do for others, sometimes to the point of you're not even considering whether or not that is healthy for the other person and whether they really truly need that. And I'm hearing with that fixer-upper. Oh yeah, here we go. Pluto, rebirth, number 27. There's a huge transformation taking place when it comes to this. This is a really beautiful energy coming through. 27, that adds up to a 9. 9 is the energy of the Hermit. And again, the energy of Virgo in the tarot. It's associated with Virgo, right? So this might involve, again, this is another nod to the introspection, right? But this is a massive transformation, and it involves soul contracts, and it involves other people, okay? It involves relationships, and I'm getting a lot of Pluto in Libra generation, which I think, going back to this earlier message being around 40, right, give or take, there's a certain maturity with that energy coming through. Like you've seen some things, you live some things, right? And the Pluto and Libra generation very much connected to a revolutionizing relationships and what relationships truly mean. And Libra is the energy, amongst many things, of harmony and balance. It is ruled by Venus, so it is directly connected to the Venusians and also this energy of the divine feminine. We've got third house communication at the bottom of the deck, number 41, third house communication. Okay. And again, two beautiful birds here. It's funny, I'm getting hummingbird energy with that, but they're not hummingbirds. So take whatever resonates here. It could be a synchronicity for some of you or a confirmation. This third house energy is about communication, and it's also the number 3, which is the energy of the Empress and the divine feminine creation. It's the energy of Venus, okay? So third house is also connected to Gemini energy, but really this is about communication. And what's interesting is Virgo and Gemini both ruled traditionally by Mercury. So there's this, again, how are you, and again, I'm getting more Libra energy coming through with that. How are you communicating your emotions? How are you communicated? How are you feeling? There's a big lesson here from these relationships, whatever they are, whether it's family, whether it was romantic, even friendships I'm getting, but the big chunk of this reading has to do with family and romantic relationships, marriages, partnerships, long-term relationships, okay? There is a threshold that's being asked to be crossed. I'm getting the energy of Mana Ekati coming through with that as well. Hecate, okay? And she's connected to sort of plutonic energy as well, right? She exists in the liminal spaces, in the in-between spaces, right? In transitions, in crossroads, in crossing thresholds and going into another realm. You know, that number 9 energy with the Hermit, that sort of energy of Virgo, the Hermit, number 9, this closing out of a cycle with 27 here. Okay? Now, the biggest thing that they want to say right now before I get into the tarot is to know that you are supported energetically through this. I'm also getting that there is ancestral energy around you, divine feminine ancestral energy, the energy of the mother, the energy of Mother Mary, supporting you in this. A lot of cups energy. We've got the watermelon in here, sensing, and I'm hearing with that, trust your senses in terms of where to go next on your journey of integration and healing. Okay? You know yourself best. Also, this is a very specific message they're giving me. One way to know if some of you feel like you're at a crossroads and it's difficult to make a decision in terms of moving forward right now because there's too much going on emotionally. There's too much going on in your physical reality. There's too many kind of loose ends trying to be tied up. They're showing me an example of an exercise where you essentially tune into your body and you ask your body to show you what a no feels like, what a yes feels like, what a maybe feels like, what a give it time perhaps feels like. Those 4 are the specific ones they're bringing in for me right now. I would invite you to do this if you practice, having sacred space as a Lightworker starseed. Open up sacred space in doing this. If that's something that is not familiar to do, just ask, tune into source, tune into the portal of your heart. Make the intention that you surround yourself in a sacred space and ask in alignment with what is, in your highest and greatest good, in your highest and greatest truth, through the energy of love, okay? Whatever that feels and looks like to you, create it, set it up, and then really tune into this energy. This energy of being in meditation, 23 on the counter as I say that. Okay, very interesting, because they're bringing that back to 5 and 5, the energy of opportunity through a crisis. And when you add 5 and 5, you get a 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. 1 and 0, specifically here, they're really showing me the reduction of it to 1 as the individual and the void, the 0. Okay, so tapping into the void, the divine feminine energy, the subconscious, allowing your body to speak to you. Because as empaths, the other thing I'm also getting with that is this idea, it's not an idea, it's the energy that I'm getting of making sure you're also regulating your nervous system, having your body in good tip-top shape. As you do this particular exercise. Some of you just need a lot of this nervous system regulation right now. Well, that's interesting. They want me to pick these up and shuffle. We're going to get to the tarot now as we close out this particular reading. Messages for pick a card, pile number 1's highest and greatest good and their highest and greatest truth. So we've got here, I'm asking through the Universal Tarot de Marseille. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got the 7 of Wands. I'm hearing with that defense is up, but I'm also getting with that specifically healthy boundaries. And this is just a simple confirmation of feeling distraught right now. But the number 7 is the energy of going deeper. And wands represent our spirit. They represent our energy. So this is another confirmation to understanding your energy more deeply as it sits in your body and how it communicates to you, and knowing what that no or that yes feels like in your body as you move forward on this stretch of your journey in terms of making decisions that are in alignment with your intuition, in alignment with your highest and greatest good, in truth and in love, okay? And then we've got the Seven of Cups in reverse, which is this is a beautiful message coming through here. Okay, got 2 sevens coming through here, which I really love because this is 7-7. You know, there's something about that number. 7 is always the energy of going deeper. 7 is the energy of balancing the intellect with the intuition. But specifically what I'm getting for this group is balancing your emotions with your mental body and your intuition. And look at that. We got death coming out at the bottom of the deck. Number 13, which goes right back to this Pluto energy. I'm going to put it right here next to Pluto. So this is Scorpio energy. This is the energy of going deeper. I'm hearing still waters run deep. So having a meditative practice right now that's going to help you calm the emotional body. This is where it's at right now. Doing whatever is healthy in your toolkit to calm your emotional body down. And a lot of this is about getting grounded. So much of this is about getting grounded, because when an empath is grounded, they access their intuition flawlessly. So what is it that you can do to ground yourself? There's so many practices that you can look up for that, but I'm asking you specifically what resonates for you. I'm getting a lot of energy of being out in nature, of going for walks. The classic, get barefoot if you can, depending on where you are in the world right now. But it's not even that. It's just about being out in nature, being with the trees, touching the ground. For some of us, it's getting physically active, like being in the body, finding a conduit, a channel in which we can physically funnel this emotional residual energy. I'm also getting with that a sovereignty practice, and I'm going to be actually doing this soon as a live stream on this channel, and we'll keep it posted to the channel as well, so look for that. And maybe once it's done, I'll come back here and put it in the description box or in the comment section. A shielding practice, an alchemizing shielding practice, is really what can assist you right now, if that is something that you do and that you practice yourself. Okay, I'm going to end the reading here. Remember, you can affirm to yourself simply this: I am in love with life as it is. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia. Thank you for being here. Please share any comments, any confirmations. Sharing is caring. You would be amazed at how many people are going through similar things, how many souls are having different experiences, how much support you can find in the comments section. I am sending you so much love on your journey right now. Remember to take what resonates here. Remember that you are a sovereign being and you make the decisions moving forward in your life. I am here simply as a guide, a support along the way. You know yourself best, though. Remember that. If you are interested, if you feel called to do a reading with me, to work with me, all that information is in the description box below. Thank you, beautiful empath, for being here. Sending you so much love wherever you are. In love and liberation, always. Welcome, pile number 2, to your reading. You have the message from the Venusians. Dote on your heart. Dote on your heart. With the air element card, communicating or communication, number 39. Number 39 adds up to a 12, which is the energy of the Hanged Man in tarot. And I'm hearing suspension, and I'm actually seeing a suspension bridge with that. This is interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of messages coming through now. Different phases for this particular group. What I'm getting is you are bridging gaps. Bridging gaps in communication, especially with yourself. I'm seeing the Ace of Swords with that. So there's a certain element here of new ideas, new thoughts, new beliefs, working with the energy of affirmations, working with how am I speaking to myself. Maybe the work of Louise Hay resonates with you, and doing that kind of mirror work, because this particular card, I don't know, it could just be the way that, you know, the illustration is here, or it's looking like a mirror to me. This air element pyramid is looking like a mirror to me. At least that's how it's coming through for this particular reading. And this is about self-love. Dote on your heart. It's about taking care of yourself. This is about being on a new leg of this self-love journey, is what I'm hearing. Spiritual journey as an empath, loving yourself, seeing things from a different perspective, going back to the Hanged Man. Okay, I'm getting a very specific starseed lightworker energy with this. So how that's translating, how they're bringing that in, is perhaps recently you had an experience, a reading, a session, or you were reading something, or you were journaling. You had an aha moment. And I'm hearing within the mundane. So it sort of was like, it felt like it seemingly came out of nowhere, out of the blue. Like this air, like these clouds. Like I feel like something wants to emerge from here. Something came out of the blue. I'm putting that in quotation marks. And this is going back to that Ace of Swords energy. I'm also seeing the Ace of Wands with that. This is it happened unexpectedly. It happened spontaneously, but it was meant to happen. And it's shifted you in some way. And I'm seeing that settling into your body. I'm seeing that energy. It happened sort of like it activated you in some way. And it's settling into your cells is how I'm seeing it. I'm getting the energy of Commander Astro coming through here as well. So maybe this was you connecting with your star family, you connecting with your guides, you connecting with galactic energy. I'm even getting images of some of you souls doing meditations where you are actually connecting to like the galactic center, which in our galaxy is oriented towards Sagittarius. So maybe this is something that happened again recently, because the timely aspect of this reading is we have just moved out of Capricorn season and we're in Aquarius season, right? But what I'm getting is that maybe this is something that happened during Sag season. Okay, so the end of November into the end of December, and it shifted you. Even something around Christmas time, because in the teachings of the occult Christ, Christmas time is a very heart-opening time of the calendar year, so to speak. It's that cyclical time again, all right, where we are really kind of opening up. Especially, I'm also hearing inner child with that. I'm seeing the energy of Archangel Gabriel with that as well. So this very loving, divine feminine inner child, sparking joy energy. And what's really beautiful is that they're really emphasizing here that this is the return of the light, right? The return of the light. And that Ace of Swords is coming in like enlightenment. So right around the winter solstice, we have the shortest day of the year, right? And then we start moving into the days getting longer again and the more extended periods of light during the day. And they're bringing that in really beautifully right now to speak about this kind of idea of illumination. So this something sparked an activation here, and this illumination is growing. It's growing. And a lot of it has to do around simply how you're communicating to yourself, how you are taking care of your emotional body, how you are taking care of your heart. Okay? This may even translate to speaking about asserting through your words. I'm also getting writing here, but asserting through words your boundaries. I'm getting somebody writing a message to someone and doing it in a very clear, very coming from a place of love. A clear heart is what I'm hearing. The eye of the heart, where there's not this feeling of feeling guilty, you have to do this, or feeling bad about doing this. Like you've really overcome something in that respect. Okay. On that note, I'm going to start by asking through the Starcodes Astro Oracle. They're guiding me to that first for you. And they want me to actually kind of work a little bit longer with this particular deck for you. There's something about, maybe some of you are really into astrology because this is a big, for this particular group. I'm also really feeling into this Aquarian energy right now, that we are currently in the timely aspect of this message. Even though these are timeless messages, this is the energy and the archetype of Aquarius. Yeah, look at what they guided me to pull out first. Pallas Athena, think, number 30. I'm also hearing creative thinking with that, with the 3 coming out there with the 30. So Pallas Athena, this is an energy. She is an asteroid in astrology, but more than anything, the energy that's coming through here is about clear thinking. Clear thinking. And Athena, the goddess Athena, is a strategist. And also I'm getting working with your hands, because she ruled over and had domain over, so to speak, in ancient times, handicrafts, being crafty with your hands. And it's funny because with that dote on your heart energy, they're showing me how the heart chakra extends into the hands. So maybe this aha moment happened when you were working with your hands. That could be a possibility. Maybe it's also, I'm hearing hand over heart, like I'm seeing someone take a pledge, pledging something to yourself, taking a vow to yourself, making a vow to yourself. I'm also hearing with that taking orders. So for some of you, maybe this is something to do with religion or some kind of spiritual practice that has assisted you. Big confirmation with that. And we've got the second house coming here with resources. Number 40. So we go from 30 to 40 here. So the number 10 also significant. I'm hearing closing out a 10-year cycle with that. I'm hearing decade, deacons. The number 10 being very significant. Wheel of Fortune. Cycles. Something to do with cycles here. And I'm hearing also ordain it, imagine it, and thy will be done is what I'm hearing. I'm getting a lot of as within, so without. This energy of the magician, the energy of manifestation. So for some of you, this is also around a clearer, you know what I'm hearing them say, make love happen. So this new understanding around love for you it's like a philosophy. And that's why there's a kind of starseed. Yeah, there's a kind of starseed energy coming through with that as well. Number 14 here is the energy of debilitated discomfort. So you've managed, this is a really beautiful energy. I'm going to stick that right here. Through some kind of aha moment around love. Oh, some of you here are part of what I refer to as like the love code bringers. This is an energy very much about bringing in new consciousness around love and what love truly is. So for you, this is about changing, if I can put it, the simplest way that I can put this is through the discomfort, through the quote unquote mishaps around love. You've taken the third perspective, you've taken a step back, come out of the emotional body of it. That's why we've got this air element here, communicating. This is how you've doted on your own heart. You've understood at a very deep level that the affronts, is what I'm hearing specifically, the perceived affronts to you are nothing to take personal. That's where this Pallas Athena and the second house of resources comes in. Because the second house of resources is showing me a new understanding around your own self-worth. And knowing that self-worth kind of all along is what I'm getting with that. And that you've understood, I can't take any of this personal. This is a very specific message to how someone has treated you in the past, and understanding that a lot of it had to do with their own shit, for lack of a better way of putting it, their own, perspective, their own kind of understanding around the situation, the relationship, their own, fill in the blanks, their own way they were raised, understanding about love, their own traumas for that matter, right? That perhaps they dumped on you, okay? And this is no knock on them, because this is something that we can all do very unconsciously when we're coming from a place of not having integrated those things yet within us, right? And feeling free in that understanding. Knowing where it is you were actually responsible for things in love, but also knowing where you definitely cannot take these things personal. It's for lack of a better way of putting it, this is a very empowering place to be. I'm hearing the seat of power, okay? Power within, mastery within, all connected to this, okay? I'm going to be asking next for messages from May You Know a Lot of Love, this beautiful little deck. This is Love Your Life Affirmation card deck. That's how it's described. I love it. I remember the magic of love. Oh, that's beautiful. I remember the magic of love. Let me see if I can get this in so you can see this, because I'm just trying to orient myself with this camera. I remember the magic of love. This magic of love, how it's coming through here is you understanding the true nature of love. The magic of love is alchemy. The magic of love is transmutation. The magic of love is understanding at a deeper level truly what's really going on. Specifically in relationships, is how they're giving it to me for this reading. That's the magic of love. It's very straightforward. The magic of love is centeredness. I just saw 1414 on the counter as well, which is the Temperance card. So it's about understanding it, like this balance, this That's alchemy. The Temperance card is alchemy. It's transmuting through the eyes of love. So when you see things with the eye of the heart, when you see things through the eye of true love and integrity in love, you see clearly. You're able to see very clearly, and I'm hearing the word dispassionately, very clearly, where you're responsible for things, where you give yourself a kind of a chance to grow, and you see it through the eyes of deep compassion, understanding of knowing you did the best of, with what you had, with what you knew when you could. Growing from that, knowing what you're responsible for frees you. The accountability frees you. And then at the same time, also seeing where the other person's actions against you, towards you, and I use that word against you very specifically because I'm feeling like a combative energy. A lot of the times, again, had nothing to do with you. And maybe it was just your energy this is classic, that your energy just triggered them. And that was nothing necessarily personal on you. You're just being who you are. Now, some might argue, well, that is personal, isn't it? Because it is who I am. Yes and no, right? Because when we take it personal, that's a whole other ballgame, right? But when we understand that we are who we are and it's coming from a very loving place and it triggers the other person, well, that's on them. And there's something that you're actually offering them in terms of growth and understanding when that happens. I allow love to hold me. Beautiful. This is where you're at right now. Allowing the energy of real love, of true love, to hold you. Allowing the energy of clear, true love to hold you and to guide you is what I'm hearing with that as well, to make you see things clearly. Understanding as well that it's not this, there's a difference between being like, I don't really see love as an emotion or a feeling. Love is an energy. Love is a frequency, right? But we do have ways that we emote love or we express love through emotion, right? Okay. So this is about understanding very clearly the difference between being emotional around love and where that's coming from, compared to the frequency of love, the eye of the heart, clear, true love. Some would even say unconditional love. That might be a way to describe it. But I don't think it fully captures what we're talking about here. It's just love. It's just all that is love. That's what I'm getting. This is a big thing. It's a big thing. Okay, for some reason they want that card to stay there. This is the Nine of Wands coming out in reverse. And we've also got the Three of Pentacles coming out in reverse. And the Three of Swords. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So, these are past energies is how they're showing it to me. And this is dropping those defenses. So the energy of being hurt in love. Wow. You've moved mountains is what I'm hearing them say. You've moved mountains. So the energy of this Three of coins coming out here in reverse is talking specifically about energies that are not synergistic, energies that are not right relationship is what I'm hearing with that. Energies that you can't really build a foundation on and being hurt by that, because whether we like it or not, as we move through this journey, as we grow, as we evolve, we're going to get hurt at some point, we're going to get hurt. We're going to feel hurt by the other person, even though, again, going back to this energy of sometimes it's the opposite. We feel hurt and it's not, they can't take it personal because it's our own crap, So this is about a deep recognition around that. And this This Nine of Wands coming out in reverse right over the air element. This is a breakthrough in communication, okay? This is the ending of some cycle of how you are thinking about love, and it is directly affecting your energy. It is directly affecting your spirit. You are moving forward. You're coming out of this feeling of having had your guard up, or, you know, some kind of walls I'm seeing up around the heart space, right? We've got this Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck, right? So it's about releasing the sadness, transmuting the sadness, the alchemy of transmuting the sadness, and this heart opening up. And they're specifically pointing me to this one sword right here, right in the middle here, as that Ace of Swords, that divine kind of intervention coming in, the divine aha moment, which really, it's you. 2020 on the counters to say that. That's the energy here of judgment, right? The energy of this, the energy of Pluto, the energy of transformation. This energy, this is an energy of you are completely opening up now to receive that download, hence that divine intervention, because your frequency is aligning to it. I'm hearing specifically within the quantum field. So keep at it. Keep embracing this energy and this frequency. You're on the right track. And this openness to this philosophy around love, you know, philosophizing the energy of love here, you know. It's really, there's something about your frequency and your energy when it comes to this. This is about being a new earth, a new paradigm, new consciousness. Love code bringer holder is what I'm hearing. Okay. And I'm just going to end on this note. Dote on your heart. Listen to your heart. Your heart knows the way. Take care of your heart. Dote on your heart. I thank you, beautiful soul, for being here, for sharing your time and your energy with us in this space. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, all that information is in the description box below. I am sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia, in love and liberation, always. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You have selected honor the sacredness of the womb. There's a lot of divine feminine energy, very much so, of course, in this particular message. But what I'm also getting with that is the energy of the divine masculine holding a sacred space for the divine feminine. And you've also selected from this Black Moon astrology cards the number 44, solar eclipse and revolution. Okay, so we're talking already here about some massive shift in terms of love, in terms of understanding love. I'm hearing in terms of understanding the frequency of around love. Okay, I'm also getting here a lot of tantric energy, sacred sexuality energy coming through with this as well. Very much the energy of the sacral chakra coming through for that sexuality, sensuality, seeing things from an entirely new perspective. When it comes to this, this is about a sexual, spiritual awakening. There is a lot of 8th house Scorpio energy. I'm getting just water energy now, actually, in general. Sacral, right? Makes sense. So 3 and 2, as you can see, with a little, this beautiful water womb energy in that triangle. 3 and 2 is the number 5. This is the energy of opportunity through crisis, of shifts, of changes. Okay, I'm getting the creative energy here, the sacral energy, the creative life force energy being really strong within this particular group. Getting a lot of connections here to the earth realm, to the energies of Mama Gaia, to the body. I'm getting a lot of connections here to the body. This is about revolutionizing the way that you think about the body and sexuality and the feminine. I'm hearing specifically some of you have gone to the void and come back out. Some of you have gone to the underworld and come back out. This is the energy of, like, I'm getting the story of Inanna. Stripped yourself bare, revealed yourself, become incredibly vulnerable with someone. Some of you in this particular group are also meant to be in some kind of sacred partnership that involves the study of Tantra, the energy of sacred sexuality. Some of you may resonate with that as well. Some of you, I'm hearing, okay, and take this however it resonates for you. There is an energy here around, it's kind of similar to this twin flame energy that we all, that just gets spoken about so much. There's so many interpretations about this, but specifically what I'm getting here, this isn't an energy of runner, chaser, problems, ups and downs, upheavals. I'm actually getting here that this sacred union is going to be a portal to your own destruction of limiting beliefs and a transformation into your power, your true energy. There's a lot here. Okay. For some of you, this is also connected to Kundalini energy, a Kundalini awakening. I'm hearing the song A Whole Lot of Love with that, like the Led Zeppelin song. I've got a deck here that I'm going to be asking through. They're actually guiding me to go straight to it right now. May you know a lot of love. These are Love Your Life affirmation cards. So they just want me to start with that. The number 44, again, the number that reduces to an 8. This is a master number. This is the energy of the master builder, the master teacher. Perhaps some of you, oh look at that. You got 2. One has been popping out for the other 2 piles, but you got 2. I love you. I'm hearing quite simply, this is understanding very simply the power of this phrase, the power of these words. The way someone says this to you, the nuanced energy. Oh, there's so much in this group about picking up with your senses what's going on. A lot of snake energy. It completely makes sense. We've got this solar eclipse energy, this transformation energy. This is the energy of, like, I'm getting scent and the snake, and how the snake senses things just through their body. They literally have their entire bottom part of their body constantly connected to Mother Earth, right? Snake energy, big time here. Transformation, Kundalini energy again coming through for this, okay? I'm hearing this phrase, I love you, is a portal. Make it your mantra. It's a portal. And I'm also being shown you saying it to yourself. Doing mirror work. That's something that came through in a previous pile. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe you were drawn to that one too. The work of Louise Hay, doing mirror work, telling yourself, I love you, 555 on the counter as I say that. The energy of 15, that reduces to a 6. 15 is the devil card. 6 is the lover's card. This is a spectrum of understanding love and sexuality and union at a very deep level. What they're showing me with that is, perhaps up until this point, up until finding this message, you've understood sexuality in a very, I'm hearing, traumatic way, okay? You've understood sexuality in a lower octave of the Scorpio archetype way, meaning using sexuality for power, okay, where there's a conditional exchange. And it's because you've gone to the depths of that hell, so to speak. Oftentimes when we're in it, we don't realize it's hell, but it is. It's a kind of hell, right? You've alchemized that. You're understanding at a much deeper level, but you've had to go to those depths. to get to this point. You're understanding it so much more deeply. And you are accepting yourself fully for who you are, for what you've experienced. You're not judging yourself. Hence, I love you. Oh, yeah. What scents remind me of love? This is what I'm getting. I'm getting smells. What scents remind you of love? There's something here about that. Something here about smells. It just feels like senses, like, you know how we use that phrase, like, I don't know, something about this doesn't smell right. It's like a sense, really heightened senses right now, heightened senses of the body, of touch, especially smell and touch is what I'm getting. I think loving thoughts. Yeah, this just goes right back to this energy of I love you. I think loving thoughts. Thinking loving thoughts of yourself. My goodness, like I'm seeing here a massive shift in how you used to talk to yourself versus how you talk to yourself now. How now I'm seeing a comparison of the way that you would look at yourself in the mirror in the past, and you would be like disgusted with some of the things that you've done, especially around sexuality. I'm getting that very specifically. Things you've done with your body. And through this energy of transformation, through this energy of understanding that those experiences have taught you tremendously, you're coming out the other end of it now where you're looking in the mirror again and you're going, you know what? I love you. I love you. It's like I'm getting this energy of like, you've been with me from the beginning. You've been a witness to this from the beginning. You're stepping into an aspect of yourself that has completely transmuted this energy of judgment. I'm getting that devil energy coming through again here, but the devil, the way it's coming through is like the devil has been your friend in a way, and please take that in the most exalted sense possible. What I mean when I say that is the devil, you don't fear the devil anymore. It kind of feels like you never did. It feels like in getting to know, this is so much 8th house Scorpio energy. It's like in getting to know the devil, you have transmuted the fear around that. A lot of the times it's like the biggest fears we have around these kind of quote unquote evil energies or bad energies, quote unquote dark energies, misinterpreted darkness. Let's just put it that way, right? Fear of the dark, I should say, fear of the devil. This, once you face that and you come out on the other end of it, you realize it wasn't so scary after all. It was bigger in your mind. It was a distortion. It was an illusion of the mind. So this message of love for you is tremendously aligned to self-love and really loving yourself. This is where you're at right now on your journey as an empath, lightworker, starseed healer, as an awakening soul. Okay? Yeah. 11th house, community. Number 49. That's interesting. Really coming through there. There's something here you're meant to share. For some of you, that's a confirmation. 11th house is Aquarian energy. So this is also an energy of seeing things really radically different. This goes back to how you're perceiving yourself and how you're perceiving the energy of your own sexuality, the energy of your own creative life force. 4 and 9 is the number 13, 49, 13 being the death card, being the Scorpio card in the tarot. You know what I really think is cool here is that, yeah, this is about, I'm getting, this is a phrase that I often use, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Wow. This is a very courageous energy of sharing your experience with others. And even with a partner, this could even be with somebody that perhaps you're aligning to or you're interested in currently, or thinking in terms of, as I move forward, this is really important for me to be able to be open about and honest with and be completely reveal, right? Completely reveal, shed light on the darker aspects of the psyche, right? With the person I am going to be partnered with. I'm even getting friends with that, because this 11th house energy can also be friendships, right? And then we've got the 5th house, passion, number 43. That's 7. That's the energy of going deeper. That's the energy of seeing things much more deeply. Passion, this is ruled by Leo, the 5th house. It's an energy of fire, right? This is something that you are passionate about. You're passionate about sharing this. And this is the kind of passion that drives you. This is the kind of passion that fuels you to bring a certain degree of change and revolution in your life. For some of you, this is a very specific confirmation around being a leader in this area, about being a teacher in this area, about writing about this, sharing this with people publicly, because we've got the 11th house here, and the 5th house is also associated with the stage. So being on some kind of a stage, I'm seeing someone giving a TED talk. Maybe that is, I'm getting the work of, is it Esther Perel? Around, relationships and sexuality. So yeah, maybe you've been listening. Maybe you've been listening to people. Okay. Oh, interesting. We've got the 7 of coins coming out at the bottom of the deck. You know what's strange here? Okay, I'm seeing the 7 of coins. Like I'm seeing it's in reverse. This energy of coming out of waiting. Something is, and these reversals here, we have got Judgment and the Magician coming out in reverse here. But how these reversals are coming out to me is very Uranian and Aquarian in nature. It's about turning these concepts on their head and going deeper. So perhaps some of you are also delving into the idea of a sex magic, right? The idea of your life force energy, channeling that through your physical body to make manifest certain things in your life. And with the Judgment card, what I'm getting here is an energy of descending to ascend again. And this goes back to the message that came through previously, the message of Inanna, going into the underworld, going into the depths, to understand more deeply what it means to then go back up again, to ascend. They're directing me to all the tools on the table here of the Magician. There is a revolutionary energy about you when it comes to understanding how to manifest, how to make manifest and make physical. It's your life force energy. That's how it's coming through here. It's this electric, direct, masculine energy that you're understanding in a completely different way. Through these experiences, through really loving, 1616 on the counter as I say that, that's the energy of the Tower, the energy of 7 again, of going deeper. There's a lot here in terms of you just doing things differently and appreciating yourself, loving on yourself because you do those things differently. And what I'm picking up with that is, in the past, that's been a difficulty. That's been something that you've struggled with. You've always seen it differently. You've always done things differently. I'm picking up on an energy of shame, around your sexuality. And all I'm getting here is that really truly wanting to go deeper. 1717 again. My God, these repeating numbers. Yeah. That's a star card. That's the energy of you, of baptism, of renewal, you know. I'm hearing revolution through revelation. That's what this judgment card coming out in reverse here is. Revolution through revelation, but you've done it your own way. You haven't done it the classic way, and perhaps you have been very severely judged for that by others. And I'm not getting here an energy of you in any way, shape, or form overstepping boundaries with people or doing this in a way where you've been hurtful to others. It's just a deep misunderstanding. Maybe a lot of this has to do with religious programming, the people in your family, those close to you who just come from a really uber religious perspective, you know? And when it comes to sexuality, we can't talk about that. We can't go there, you know? And you feeling completely at odds and like a fish out of water in that environment, and feeling like, you know, what's the word that's coming through here? Like an outcast, like ostracized. There's a path here that you're meant to follow, and they want to end the reading by giving you some guidance here. And I'm getting the little prince coming through here. It is with the heart that one sees rightly. What is real, what is true, is invisible to the eye. Lead with your heart, and specifically make a practice of connecting your womb. And what I mean by that is your sacral center, whether you are a man or a woman, your creative center, connect it to your heart. And maybe even look into the energy of Sacred Union, the teachings of Mary Magdalene, if maybe you're not already there, because you might already be there. The teachings of the occult Christ, I'm being guided to share that with you. These really beautiful divine feminine energies around understanding sexuality more deeply. I feel that there's going to be something that's going to bring you a little bit more solace with that, a little bit more understanding and growth. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for being here. I thank you. We thank you, the Venusians. Thank you for being here, for sharing your love, your energy, your time with us in this space. And I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia. If you are called, if you're feeling called to work with me, all that information is in the description box below. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are, in love and liberation, always.